Hi everyone, I'm She. Welcome to Crafting in the Lyons Den. Before we go into what we're going to be making in this tutorial, I just want to talk a little bit about mental health. If you're not interested, fair play. You can just scoot on, move that thing forwards, you don't listen to it. But this is something that's really important to me, and it's one of the reasons why I started this. I was having a think about it when I was rebranding and looking at what I'd written and stuff like that, and I've kind of realised I haven't actually done anything in terms of talking about mental health really, except for that first intro and after I came out of hospital the second time. So last week on Friday the 10th of September it was World Suicide Prevention Day. This is something I feel strongly about, and I don't think we talk about it enough. It's very, very easy when someone's withdrawing and cutting everyone out, not answering calls, not answering text messages, not turning up to events. It's so easy for us to turn around and just be like, well, they're not bothering. But of course they're not bothering. If they're in that mental state where they just don't have the capability to be able to converse with people, be around people, if they are that low that they want to just lock themselves away, we need to go get them. Like, do what you have to. If they're out on their island by themselves, swim, boat, fly, whatever you need to do, go and get them. If it's someone that you care about, we need to know that we've done everything that we can to try and help them. I'm very, very lucky to have some really, really awesome people in my life who have kept me going. In January, I was in a really bad way and had a mental breakdown. I was told by my job that I was not mentally stable enough to continue. So I've been on sick leave since then, hoping to return. So I've done that job for 14 years and fought to be there in the first place because of my mental health issues. For those that don't know, I suffer from BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. I was diagnosed at 19, ADHD and PTSD. So getting into that profession in the first place was a huge deal. So then when I was told I'm not allowed to do it because I'm not mentally stable enough, it's literally like boom, smack in the face. And suddenly I'm not good enough, and all those worries, those voices that tell me that I'm just not good enough for anything have suddenly been able to rise to the surface. And in the 8 months that I've been off work, I've had 3 serious suicide attempts, which if I didn't have the people around me that have continuously shown me unconditional love, then I definitely wouldn't be here right now. Those people do turn up at my house and make me go on a walk. They make me leave. They don't let me fester on my own. Those people I'm very lucky to have, and not everyone has them. So I think it's really important, if you do notice someone that's withdrawing and that looks like they could do with some help, then reach out to them. Secondly, I started this because for me, arts and crafts and creating things is something that really helps me. It is my therapy. And without arts and crafts this last 8 months, I don't know where I'll be. Probably wouldn't be here, to be fair. It's something that keeps my mind occupied. It's why I post so much. It's why I create these things, because it gives me validation when I help someone, like with these tutorials. If someone takes it and they tell me that it helps them, it makes me feel so good and so valid. And yes, I know it's not the ideal way to be, where my self-validation comes from an external source, but I am working on it. But for now, while I don't have the validation of being at work, that's what's sort of holding me together. And I will be working on that, because yeah, ideally I shouldn't need to have that validation from anyone but yourself. It will come eventually. So again, if there's someone that you know that you think, actually, this person might enjoy a bit of arts and crafts, and you're watching this, think, do you know what, let's have a little arts and crafts date. That's good. Have some fun together. Let's make something, put a tutorial on, have a watch and go, let's give it a go. It's just a nice way to connect with people, and it's nice for that person to create something that others might be like, oh, well, that's nice. How'd you do that? You done it yourself, did ya? Bloody well done. You know, it's just something. So that's what I really want to promote, just art for mental health, because it is a therapy. It is known, it's proven. It's something that's offered in hospitals, in rehab centres, everything, arts and crafts. So if you're not in those, if you don't have access to those facilities and someone's sitting there with you and doing it, then the next best thing is a tutorial. So hello, let's do some arts and crafts for mental health together. As always, my DMs are open on Insta, on Facebook, whatever. Just message me if there's any questions, if you don't feel comfortable posting it on a video or out in a public forum. I do my best, I really do. I'm not an expert, but I'm happy to help. And those of you that have reached out to me, I appreciate you. Like, I really appreciate you having that strength inside you to reach out and, you know, just know that you're loved. Yeah? Okay. Enough of the mushy. Let's move on. So, we're going to be creating autumnal elegance. Yes. I'm a little bit proud of this one. Ta-da! I'm tapping the screen, not the item. Look at this beaut. Look at that. Little pumpkin, golden pumpkin with leaves on it and twigs and stuff. Doesn't that look beautiful? You can see there, it is three-dimensional. So this is what we're going to be creating today. A little bit of autumnal elegance to kick off this Halloween season, because it's September, which means it's obviously Halloween soon. Oh, I just dropped it. It's all right. It's fine. So it's durable. I know that. It's durable. Try not to drop yours. But yeah, make it your own. Do what you want with it. I've used spray paint, but you don't have to use spray paint. You use whatever you have available to you. The clay that I've used is children's mud clay. It's just that air drying clay, nothing special, but it works a treat. So yeah, if you like it, let me know. I love to hear and see people's projects that they've made. As always, please subscribe, like, comment, share, do whatever you. It does make me happy. I appreciate you so much. Those who are coming on this little journey with me. Thank you. I do appreciate you more than you know. So, hope you enjoy this video and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so we're taking our air dry clay and you're going to want to squidge it all out. I put a piece of cling film down just because I was rolling this out on a cardboard box and it wasn't going very well because it kept sticking to it. So if you put some cling film down first, it will prevent it from sticking to the surface and you can just peel that cling film off. So you want to roll this out and roll it into as big and as thick as you want your finished centerpiece to be. Remember, you could do this with any shape you want. I've just chosen a pumpkin because, you know, Halloween. So I thought it would merge nicely between a sort of the Halloweenness of this season and the elegance of the piece itself. So I've just put in a little bit of water there because can you see my clay is all bumpy and lumpy? Ideally, I want it flat so that it picks up the imprints better. So I'm just taking a tiny bit of water and smoothing it out completely. Just gave my little rolling pin a bit of a clean there because it was also getting really chunked up with clay. Me and the little one had been playing before we made this video, so there is literally clay everywhere. So there, that looks nice and flat. Now I've chosen some evergreen leaves, which I've just pulled off some trees in the garden. Going to place them in a position that I think is going to look pretty. So I've got 2 leaves there and I thought one more just to sort of make it look like a little sprig of leaves. And taking the rolling pin and I'm very, very gently rolling that down into the clay. You need to try and do this evenly so that you don't have different thicknesses throughout your piece. So gently rolling it down until it is completely flat and level at the top. There we go. Now you're going to slowly remove your evergreen or whatever leaf you try. I did have a go with the acer leaves as well, but I preferred the detailing that you got with the evergreen, so that's what I thought would make it with an evergreen piece. Don't worry if you lose some bits in there, it's not a big deal. Once you've got those off, you get your cookie cutter. I've got my little pumpkin cookie cutter, and position it over your clay and find the optimum position. And once you're happy, press it down and cut it out. Remove all that excess clay around it so that you're just left with your centrepiece. See how easy that pulls off the cling film now, instead of the fight that I had earlier, which I chose not to film when I was fighting with the cardboard. Probably a good thing as well. So excess clay needs to go out and just smooth out the cling film. Look at that. How cute does that look? Going to gently push that out of the cookie cutter and try not to squish it whilst doing so. As you still see, there's a little bit of green on there, but that doesn't matter. And there we go, that's looking at it. We're now going to leave that to dry. When it is dry, I'm choosing to use this shiny gold spray paint. I'm going to cover the whole thing and leave that to dry. Again, you can use any other paint you like for this. It doesn't have to be spray paint. I've cut a piece of cardboard out now that I think is the perfect size where my pumpkin's going to sit in the middle and I can frame it nicely. So you just want it, you know, a bit bigger than your centrepiece. I've got a white acrylic paint and I'm just going to splodge that on and cover it. Again, this doesn't have to be neat at all. This is a super fun project where messy is the key, because we're going for this sort of rustic, elegant rust look. Elegant rust, is that a word? Have I just created like a genre or whatever it's called there? Well, if I have, you know, yay. If not, then I don't know, maybe educate me of where I've just got that term from. So yeah, just covering this piece of cardboard entirely in paint. So you want to make sure it's one of the sturdy cardboards, not a flimsy bit. When that is letting that to dry, I'm now taking that paintbrush I used, putting it on the sponge, and I just decided that I wanted to create the pumpkin look a bit more rustic as well. So I'm going to sponge on some white paint. I think rustic's going to be my my video word of the video, really, isn't it? See how many times I can say it. Play a game. Maybe let's do some fitness stuff. Do a squat every time I say rustic. Woo! So I'm just dabbing that around so that you've still got that gold detail on the insides, but on the surface it's going to be white. Right, grab some sticks. These are, you know, sticks I found in the garden. Ideally, you don't want to take them off trees while they're still living, because otherwise it may affect your piece when they dry. So a dry stick, so pick them up from the ground. And then you're just going to position them around your cardboard of how you'd like it to look. I always find this helps rather than going straight into gluing things on there. I'm a very visual person. I need to make it in front of myself and just put my pumpkin in there to get reference of the sizes and stuff. So when I'm happy with that, I'm going to grab my Gigi. My Gigi's my glue gun. Ha! In case you hadn't guessed. So I'm taking the sticks off and just putting them to the sides where I want them. And then I'm going to use my Gigi to glue them on. Yeah, and this, you don't need any fancy glue. This is literally just your standard glue gun glue, because this is a very, very simple piece, as I said. Great little piece. It's so effective when it's all done. It looks really beautiful. So with some of the sticks like that one, you're not going to be able to get the glue all the way onto the cardboard, but make sure you put the glue on any bits that make contact with the cardboard or with the other twigs, because we do want to make sure it's not going to fall apart. As you saw in my little intro video there, that I did drop it and it stayed intact. So it's a good sign. So I just find it really helped to have that pumpkin there, just for reference, so that I know what it is that I'm framing with the sticks. So you can use as many or as few as you like when doing this. You can even add bits to it, maybe add some little flowers or whatever. And yeah, when you're happy with how it looks and the amount you've put on, we're going to move on to painting the sticks. So that is the finished sticks all glued and ready to go. I'm using a white spray paint this time, and I just want to cover those sticks completely so that they're not, you can't see they're sticky anymore. Sticky like a stick. Oh no, I've got the Hey Dougie sticky song in my head now. Going over it with the gold. So this isn't going to be a full-on coat. This is just a light spray because you want to just be adding some detailing, bring out those highlights of the sticks. So see like that? Spray, not continuous spray. Just bring out those details. When that's all dry, I've put my pumpkin in and I thought, do you know what, actually this looks a bit too gold. So I got my acrylic paint and my sponge again. And all I'm doing is I'm going to be sponge painting just behind where the pumpkin's going to sit, because I want to give it a more flaky look rather than just pure gold. As you can see there, it's sort of dulling down that shine a bit and adding that white colour in. Again, it's completely optional. You do what you like, make what you like with it. Just to give you an idea. So when you're happy, leave it to dry. Yeah, that works. Okay, getting Gigi out again. She's going to do some good work. Gluing that pumpkin. And we're going to stick that to that board that we've now made. And once that's done, we have got our final centrepiece for our frame. Grab a box frame, take out the glass, get your frame bit, and what you're going to need is the backing board, this bit. Cut out a piece of black card that's the same size. Get Gigi to give you a little gluey square everywhere. You want to make sure that this is sufficient enough to hold it on there, but you don't want to leave all the bumps all over it. So a little bit at a time until you get it right. Okay, once that black card is stuck to the backboard, we're going to stick our pumpkin centrepiece to the black card. Gigi's at it again. And position that. Press it down. Beautiful. Now we're back to our frame. We're going to place that in the frame without the glass. We don't want the glass because it will ruin it a little bit and some of the sticks might stick out. Push that in and there we go. Look at that. Absolute beautiful autumnal elegance. Love it. Hope you've enjoyed watching. I will see you next time. Bye.